Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. Greetings, fellow Poltermasters. I'm Crash Rowsell, and it's once again time to Crash Scouts with this discussion of Crash Team Rumble. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to talk about this game because I got an early access beta code from Toys for Bob themselves. Yeah, very exciting. I randomly got an email when I was at work a couple days before, well, a day after the beta came out, if I'm not mistaken. Because if you pre-ordered the game, you got the beta already. However, I did not pre-order the game because I didn't know if it was my thing or not. Was interested in playing it, however, and Toys for Bob must have caught on and sent me a beta code to play the game. And I did. I downloaded it on my PlayStation 5. I also have it on PS4, so I guess my version came with two different versions, a PS4 and a PS5 version for a beta, which is really cool. So everything I'm about to talk about is on those consoles. I don't have it for anything else. Never played it on PC or Xbox or anything like that. So today I'm going to discuss the game. I only got to play it for one day, or technically 2 days, because on the third day I was going to play it was the last day of the beta, but I didn't know that it wasn't the full day. It was only like half a day, and I was working, so I went, okay, that's cool. But it was enough to give me enough feeling about what I can think about the game and the positives and the negatives that I had from the game, and basically if I see if you guys might be interested in me playing more of it in the future. So let's get into the discussion video now and go from there. So the big thing I can drop right away is that this game is extremely mindless fun. I played it the entire time and never had a single time where I felt like I was bored. The characters are so much fun. They're all so unique. Every character I got to play as, I was having an actual blast with it. Like, everyone had something different to bring to the table. So there were 5 characters in the beta. I only got to unlock 4 because for Cortex I kept forgetting how to do the booster, which was just go up and jump on those platforms. So I never had to play as Cortex, but I did get to play as everyone else. I got to play as Dingodile, Coco, Crash, and Tanya. Tana. It's one of her names. But I can tell you each one of those 4 characters all had their own unique movesets, and that's something I really, really liked. I liked the fact that each character was easy to pick up and play, but they all had different styles to play as. So of course they all had their own, roles too when it comes to scorers, blockers, and boosters, but I felt like neither of them really focused on that one thing except for blockers, which I'll discuss later. I did love how their movesets were related to the actual characters in their games, like Crash had his slam ability and the super spin was awesome. I did realize Cortex, when I used to play against him, had his laser gun, which was great. Dingodile had the vacuum ability, Tana had her actual grapple hook. Coco didn't have a lot of technical stuff, which I realized, but she did have a tablet and she could make like a shield when she was running away, which I think is pretty cool. I did get the hang of that one after a while, but really like that. I feel like out of all the characters, Coco was my main character. I had a blast playing as her. I think every single game I played as Coco, I did really well. So that was cool. I like the fact that I can just pick up Coco, a character I've never really played as ever, and enjoyed it. The game itself looked gorgeous. It looked just like a Crash Bandicoot game, like just especially Toys for Bob and Vicarious Visions did the remaster and Crash 4, for example, if you guys did not know that. So they know how to make a Crash game look phenomenal, and it looks so good. The colors were great. The landscapes are so evenly laid out. I could get from area and never have an issue, which is what I really liked. They were very open and explorable, so it was like you could do the same path over and over again. I forget the level it was where you can go behind where you're standing and just get all the things, then come back and then just reset and kind of do that loop over and over again, but you had the option to explore everywhere else. And it was very open, and there was nothing kind of restricting you, which is great. Along with that, I like the fact that in the matchmaking, it was 4-on-4, I could continuously keep the same teams I had. So instead of playing the game and then kicking you out and you have to go back in and start another game, like say Pokemon Unite did. I don't know if they do it now. I haven't played Pokemon Unite in a while. But the only way to retain your team was to have them as a friend list and keep them in your party. So with this one here, you'd finish the match and then you'd immediately start the next match where loading up the wait screen with the same people you teamed up as or faced off against. You can continue to have the same people. From the 3 videos I have here for the footage, I have the same players each time, except I think maybe 2 or 3 of them changed. I think my teammates were exactly the same the entire time, and it was awesome. I love the fact that I had such a great team that we wanted to stay together, or I could drop out and then drop back in with another team and still, go for it. It was great. And I do love the fact that every character has so many customization options. You unlock a general customization option for someone, like I got the beanie hat, for example, and you can put that on any single character. So it wasn't just a beanie hat for just Crash or for Dingle Doll. You could put that on anybody. And along with that, there's different skin options you can get. Unfortunately, I didn't unlock any of those in time, but there's so much customization. You can make the character look any way you want with any kind of backpack and shadow and emote and all that. It's crazy. The customization in this game is wild, so it's not like the characters are ununique. And I mean, there's going to be so many characters in this game. There's at least 20, I think is what they announced were coming out. And there's going to be new unique characters that aren't even in the Crash universe and classic ones. I actually filled out a survey and they asked which characters you'd like to add, so I requested basically every single character from the first Crash Bandicoot game because I'm nostalgic like that. So yeah, along with Skylanders, don't you worry, Skylanders and Spyro. But yeah, that's definitely the best parts of the game. However, there is small things about the game that I didn't like. And this could be just because of the beta or whatever it is. The first one is the literal first game I joined into. And of course, this is my first game I've ever played. I'm going to not be good at it. However, it didn't make me happy that a Dingle Dial was blocking me the entire time in the first level. Literally on top of our goal place, blocking us from doing it. And I know he's a blocker. You're saying to yourself, Crash, he's literally a blocker. He's Dingle Dog. He's the blocker role like he has to do. No. For my first ever game, that's not something that's going to draw me in, because when I played Dead by Daylight for the first time, I joined into the game. The killer realized I was level 1. He immediately focused on me and took me out right away. You think I don't know how to play the game. You're going to, leave me alone. But no. That's not a way to start off the game. The fact that the blocker is way too overpowered if he's leveled up, especially if you're a brand new player, that didn't catch my eye. I did not enjoy that. However, and looking past that, I still enjoyed the game. And my first game was with the Dingle Doll blocker, and we lost horribly. But then every other game, I had a fantastic time. Even playing as Dingle Doll myself, I enjoyed it. So for the first game, that was my only issue, is that, I'm getting introduced to the game, and this could throw people off right away. Along with that, I did went from PS4 to PS5, and there is a big quality drop. I know, obviously, the system's going to run completely different, but the online was good. But I can see if you're going for a PlayStation 4 version, or say the Xbox One when it comes out, the quality's going to drop. So just a heads up on that. It's not going to look or sound as good as if you're playing on a new gen console, which is fine. The other thing I was really picky with was even matchmaking. I said at the beginning there with Dingle Dial, he was a very high level. I didn't like the fact that he was like level 30 and I was level 1 when I first started. So you think that you would try to make the matchmaking a little more even. So, you'd want to have level 1s and 5s together and then level 30s facing off against level 30s, instead of having one team have a level 25, a level 3, a level 1, and a level 4. So the 30 is like the highest. And then another team could have like 20, 30, 30, and of 20 again. And you're like, oh, okay. So like it didn't feel very even when it came to like new players of the game. And I mean, the levels that were there were the Battle Pass levels. But I mean, the more your Battle Pass is, the better at the game you are. That's how it goes. So I didn't like that. The even matchmaking was odd, and I don't like that. I wish it was a little more even. Along with that, I kind of kept forgetting where the booster areas were. And to do the boosters as a booster character with Coco, you think I'd focus more on it, but no, I kept forgetting about him. So like my biggest thing was how many times I would go immediately to the booster area, set it up, and then never go back. So that's why I never got Cortex, was the fact that I kept forgetting about those booster areas. And then I was like, I better level up to try to get Cortex so I can give him a try, right? And then I would go and do it, and other people would do it for me, and then I wouldn't get the booster trophy, and then you needed like 10 of them to get them, and I never even got 10. In the day and a half I played it, I never got 10 boosters. But my biggest fear of this game is longevity. Not for the fact that people aren't going to be playing it, no, 100%, but for myself. I'm not a battle royale game player. I don't play any kind of like competitive games. I'm not really competitive in any way when it comes to video games. I like to play video games to have fun. So when it comes to this game, I don't see how me playing it is going to be something that's going to justify me spending $45 on the game if I'm only going to play it for maybe a couple weeks and never touch it again. Now, of course, if you guys want to see it on the channel, I'll definitely look into doing it. But even then, I might have to consider, because I don't know how long I'm going to be playing this game for. Of course, they're going to be introducing a lot of new stuff, and there's going to be a lot of stuff on day one, and all I got to do is just kind of level up, so it's just like a regular game. But I don't know how long this game will last for me, and the fact that you have to fully pay for a game and then in a year or so time, the servers might go down. I mean, look at Rumbleverse, for example. That was a Battle Royale game I played for a little bit. That's closing down. That game was barely out for a year. I don't even know if it was a year. And then like other Battle Royale games are closing everywhere. Like I know Rogue Company's closing on Switch soon. So my biggest fear is like, oh, I'm paying $45 for this game that literally could become unplayable in a couple years' time. So I don't know about that. If it was a free-to-play or free-to-start, 100%, I'd be downloading it day one, ready to go. But obviously, they're not going to make a lot of money off that one, and I fully understand that. However, longevity-wise, I'm not sure how it'll weigh out for me. But it could be something you guys might be interested in. It's not overly expensive, but I don't want to drop a lot of money on a game that I don't know if I'm going to play for very long periods of time. So that's my full thoughts on the game. Pros and cons. We'll go from there. So that is my thoughts on Crash Team Rumble from the boys at Toys for Bob. I say the boys and girls at Toys for Bob, and of course Activision. This game does have a lot of promise, but again, my biggest fear is the fact that I might not want to play it for any longer than I feel like it has to, and of course paying $45 for a game I'm only going to play for a little bit is kind of a bummer. But if you guys do want to see more of it, please let me know, because I will gladly play it on the channel. I can get it on PlayStation 4 easy, and I can do a lot of videos on it. I can see myself actually recording a lot of this content, getting used to it, and actually uploading it on the channel, maybe turning into a weekly series kind of thing, or something like that. It's completely up to you guys. So let me know in the comments below your thoughts on it. If you played the beta, let me know your opinion on the beta itself, and if you're interested in a game like this yourself, not just watching it on the channel, playing it yourself. So let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I'll see you all next week for some awesome content. Like always, the game comes out in June. Just thought you guys let you know, so you have a lot of time to decide if you'd like me to play it or not. But as always, I bid you farewell.